with religion. That's because we are here to show our position and to show to the people what Islam teaches us to be if something happens like this, what we should do. Thank you for it, but I don't say more than things. I think my imam, all my imam, they say what we should say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay, we'll avail ourselves for questions now. You can also direct questions at either one of us, and I will probably pass the microphone to Sayyid Hassan Khazmi to answer a question if there is one, because he's an important leader, not just here, but all throughout the American Muslim community, so it would be fitting for him to make a comment. Are there any questions from the media? Yes.
You referred to it, obviously the attacks were on 9/11. This film was released in June, so obviously it's not a new film.
Yes.
Do you think this attack was on the embassy in Libya was a 9/11 attack and they were just using this film as just, it wasn't based on the film, it was based on 9/11?
Well, we can't give a firm answer. That would be conjecture to say definitively that that was the cause. I base my comments going by what's been said by the United States State Department and Secretary Hillary Clinton. They themselves are saying that that attack in Libya was a very well thought out, planned attack. It wasn't something that was random. Therefore, we can't say for certain that anti-Muslim film and the protests triggered that rocket attack against our embassy. We can't say that definitively, and I'm basing that off of what our own State Department is saying. It's not our independent thinking.
You know, from my understanding, and as I said before, there are groups of people out there who are bent to defend Islam and the Muslims. They have their agenda as Islamophobes. So the relevance of 9/11 is, as I understand, this gentleman, Terry Jones from Florida, included it as part of the 9/11 message, and it got translated into Arabic and put on the either on the YouTube or some other media in Egypt, and it was done around 9/11, designed to provoke on that date. And of course, our enemy, the terrorists, they're looking for an opportunity to do something on 9/11, and they probably found that a very convenient time to do what they did, the horrible act.
Speaking of Terry Jones, he's announced that he's coming to Dearborn on October 10th to demonstrate in front of Ed Support High School. And just some thoughts on that, because he's based this on what he says are basically bullying issues between Muslim and non-Muslim students. And what were some of your thoughts about Mr. Jones announcing that he is coming to our area?
I personally believe that Muslims should ignore him, just like they did when he came the last time, I guess in last April. The man thrives on notoriety, and I think he is in a fundraising mission. So I think it is in our best interest that we completely ignore him and not give him any attention. And I ask you, my friends in the media, also to ignore him. Please don't give him that chance to promote himself. That is his talent, to get the attention of the media and being able to promote himself through the media.
Can I give your name?
I'm Imam Hassan al-Qazwini. I'm the religious leader of the Islamic Center of America based in IMAM, Hassan, HASSAN, Qazwini, QAZWINI, from the Islamic Center of America based in Dearborn.
Can you spell the last name again? I'm sorry, it's QUAZ. QUAZ. WINI. The fact that he said that he's saying he's going to demonstrate during the school day, too. He said 1 o'clock and the school day dismisses at about 2:20. He's going to be there during the school day. Does that concern you? I guess.
Well, you know, we're in the United States of America, and Pastor Terry Jones is free to demonstrate and do whatever he wants to do within the confines of United States and Michigan laws. As Imam Qazwini says, it is our plan to ignore him. We're sure that law enforcement will be there to make sure that Mr. Jones and his few cronies aren't harassing students at the school, and that's it. But this is also, there's a lesson in this. It shows the power for good and bad within social media too, right? Okay, because we had the Arab Spring recently, and many organizers use Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for positive messages. And here we have a man, Terry Jones, who doesn't even have 20 followers, and his entire congregation left him, and he's using Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to stir up controversy all throughout the world. So it just goes to show you the power of social media in the 21st century. I'd also like to welcome one of our friends who came with us here today in solidarity, a man of peace, from the Catholic Church, our friend and brother, Father Lawrence Ventline, who is here with us this morning. If anyone, if there are any questions, you also can direct a question directly to Father Ventline about what he thinks about the anti-Islam movie, as well as the protests, if you'd like. Yes, sir.
A couple of years back, there were the cartoon depictions in Denmark, and not to undermine either of them, either the cartoon depictions or this movie, but is it in a sense worse to have an actual person depicting the Prophet, or is it both on the same level?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, just the cartoons that were depicted is a cartoon depiction because there were a lot of protests on the cartoon depictions, but in terms of burning down embassies, ambassadors getting killed, there wasn't much of that I know of. So is it worse depicting the Prophet in a movie than making a cartoon depiction of him?
So unfortunately, things are add up to begin with. They started with the cartoon and then burning the Quran, and now the new movie. This is one thing. And another thing, as the other friends they mentioned, there is quite suspicion about this situation of choosing 9/11 and also attacking the embassy and killing the diplomats. It has some political elements, that there are some pieces missed in this situation and unclear so far for us. There are things that we don't know whether happened by accident or there was an organization and a plan behind some of these events. So there is more need for clarification, and there are things that we don't know. But regardless, we condemn what happened. We condemn those people who abuse the freedom of speech to express hate and irresponsibility towards the integrity and image and interest of this country. and also we condemn the violent demonstration that caused problem for America and for other nations, because it's not only for diplomats. Tens of other people, whether they are guards for the embassies or ordinary people on the streets, they were killed as well. So it's a huge problem. And for that reason, it is important for all of us as a nation and the interfaith community to get together and show solidarity for the families of the victims, and also unity against extremism in any name and any tradition. That's not acceptable, especially at this time of tension. Requires more responsibility from all of us. Yes, and Father wants to say.
Yeah, smut is smut, and anything denigrating human dignity is, whether it's a cartoon or sometimes, sad to admit, human beings become less than we're called to be. But whether it's a cartoon or it's a viral video, it's all denigrating, and we need to somehow press for coming together to be, as have already said, to be in solidarity on a regular basis to deal with the injustices that people seem to be feeling, you know, when their toes are stepped on in the poverty of many of these nations, they're going to dissent and they're going to rise up. So in a more organized fashion, we need to press for conversations, even with those that don't want to live civil, courteous lives in the tradition of the great Francis of Assisi, Italy, who called for the courtliness and the courtesy due every human being.
Father, can you please spell your name, please? Sorry.
So V as in Victor, E-N-T-L-I-N-E, first name Lawrence, L-A-W-R-E-N-C-E. I'm on a special assignment for the Archdiocese of Detroit.
You know, that has to be difference in what's profane and what's sacred. Father Valentine articulates it's well. Muslims love their prophet. However, they should ask, what would Prophet Muhammad do? Just like we say, what would Jesus do? Here in Detroit, we say, what would Jesus drive? You know, this is not new. It has happened during the life of the Prophet Muhammad. May God's peace and blessings be upon him. And what was his response? He never got upset. He never really paid attention to these things. However, as Father Valentine also alluded to that, there are so many other problems in the Muslim world. They find some reason for an outlet. In the fledgling democracies, whether in Egypt or just a moderate president got elected the day before in Libya, so there are groups who take these opportunities to not only just get some of them would have the frustrations out on what they have felt. Others take this as an opportunity to find a way to make life difficult for these new democracies. So to answer your question, whether it's cartoon or this movie, in some way I've answered that. You know, there is no classification. The bottom line is this is all wrong, and not only depicting the prophet, whether it's Muhammad, Jesus, or Abraham, it's also wrong to react the way the Muslims have, some Muslims, a very small minority, have done in these countries.
Let me also say regarding the caricatures and the whole debate about freedom of speech. We as Muslims, we uphold the value of freedom of speech.